My husband canceled our 10th anniversary dinner for work, so I sold his $180,000 Porsche to fund my dream business. Rain check on tonight, babe. This Tokyo deal won't close itself. The text message glowed on my phone screen, the 5th anniversary Michael had missed in our 12 years together. I stared at his words, fingers hovering over the keyboard, as I sat alone in our dining room, surrounded by unlit candles, unopened champagne, and the remnants of a hand-prepared anniversary dinner that had taken me 8 hours to cook. I took a slow sip of untouched champagne, my gaze drifting to the garage through the bay windows. There it was, his beloved 1973 Porsche 911 Carrera RS, gleaming under the automatic lights. That car was his retirement plan, his legacy, his baby, the one thing he never canceled plans for. Behind me, our wedding photo hung on the wall, both of us beaming with promise. If you had told me then that a decade later I'd be sitting, alone on our anniversary while Michael closed another deal, I wouldn't have believed you. Yet here I was, another evening sacrificed to Pearson Dynamics, the company that had slowly consumed my husband and our marriage. Michael's message sat unread. The Tokyo deal. Always another deal, another client, another reason our life together took a back seat. I slipped off my heels, the new ones I'd bought especially for tonight, and walked barefoot to the kitchen to pack away the untouched food. The roast beef would keep. My patience wouldn't. The turning point. As I mechanically wrapped each dish in plastic, my mind drifted to my conversation with Olivia that morning. My best friend since college, she'd recently launched her own marketing agency after years of being overlooked at Hartford Media. "You should see the clients coming in, Jenny," she'd said over coffee, her eyes bright with excitement. "All those ideas that got shot down by the old boys club? Turns out actual businesses want them. Turns out I wasn't the problem." I'd smiled, genuinely happy for her. Even as my own professional dreams remained locked in the box Michael had helped me pack them into when we married. "Michael says there's no point in both of us working 80-hour weeks," I'd explained, when she asked why I never pursued my MBA. "One high-powered career per household is enough." What I hadn't told Olivia, or anyone, was that I had secretly completed my degree online last year, paying for it with the money I'd squirreled away from my personal shopping allowance. Michael would have called it excessive, a needless expense for someone whose job was to manage our home and social calendar. The kitchen clean, I wandered back to the dining room, trailing my fingers along the carved mahogany table Michael had imported from Milan. "You'll love it, babe," he'd said. "Perfect for when we host the board members next quarter." Expensive evidence of Michael's success filled our home, the Warhol in the foyer, the hand-knotted Persian rugs, the wine cellar stocked with bottles worth more than most people made in a month, and of course the crown jewel, the vintage. Porsche, housed in its own climate-controlled section of our 3-car garage. My phone buzzed again. Not Michael. Olivia. "Olivia, how's the anniversary dinner? Did he like the cufflinks? The diamond-studded cufflinks?" I'd almost forgotten. They sat in their velvet box next to Michael's place setting, a gift he might not see for days. Me. He canceled. Tokyo deal. Olivia. Again? Jenny, that's the 3rd year in a row. Me. 5th, actually. Olivia, come over. I've got contracts to review, but I also have wine and takeout. I glanced at my reflection in the dining room mirror, the elegant black dress I'd bought for tonight, the carefully applied makeup, the pearl earrings Michael had given me on our 1st anniversary, back when canceled dinners were followed by heartfelt apologies and makeup dates. Me. Thanks, but I think I'll just go to bed. Long day, a lie. My days weren't long anymore. They were empty. An idea takes shape. As I placed the champagne bottle back in the fridge, my gaze fell on the custom key rack by the garage door. 3 sets of keys, my practical Audi, Michael's everyday BMW, and the specialized key to the Porsche Carrera, the car he only drove on perfect weather weekends. Michael had spent 5 years hunting it down, paying a premium for matching numbers and original paint. Better than any investment portfolio, he'd told me, signing the check for $180,000. This model appreciates 15% year over year. My phone buzzed with an incoming email. Out of habit, the habit of a woman reduced to managing her husband's social calendar, I checked it immediately. Not Michael. An email from my MBA program, advertising their entrepreneurship competition. Turn your business idea into reality with $50,000 in seed funding. Application deadline, tomorrow. I'd forgotten about the competition. Months ago, I'd drafted an application for a boutique financial advisory firm focused on helping women-owned businesses secure funding. Phoenix Capital, a name inspired by rising from the ashes of abandoned ambition. I had never submitted it. Because what was the point? Michael would never support me starting a business. One high-powered career per household is enough. But tonight, as I looked at the Porsche key gleaming under the chandelier light, something shifted. I picked up my phone. Me. Olivia. Does your brother still work at Classic Auto Brokers? Olivia. Troy. Yeah, he's the sales manager now. Why? I turned the key over in my palm, the weight of it solid in my hand. Me. I need to sell a car. Quickly and discreetly. A new beginning. By morning, the Porsche was gone, sold for $215,000. By the following week, Phoenix Capital had its first office space, its first contracts, and its first clients. And 6 months later, my company acquired Michael's biggest client. Michael still doesn't know I'm the CEO. When he finds out, I wonder if he'll finally clear his schedule. The pencil skirt felt like armor, a stark contrast to the designer. Dresses I once wore to complement Michael's image. Today marked the beginning of reclaiming my identity, starting with how I presented myself to the world. Hair pulled back severely, minimal jewelry, understated makeup, every choice deliberate. "What's your next move?" Olivia asked over coffee, watching me transform from corporate wife to businesswoman. First, I open a business account for Phoenix Capital, then I meet with Crystal to nurture that connection. After that, I find an office space. I stirred my coffee methodically. Michael won't be back from Tokyo until Friday. That gives me 3 days to establish enough momentum that he can't easily stop me. Olivia smirked. And when he discovers the Porsche is gone? I took a careful sip from my mug. By then, there will be nothing he can do about it. The money will be invested, contracts signed. Phoenix Capital will be more than just an idea. She nodded slowly. You've really thought this through. I've had years to think it through, Liv. Years of sitting at dinner parties listening to Michael and his colleagues discuss strategies and investments. Years of reading every business publication, staying current on market trends, completing my MBA in secret. I set down my cup with finality. All while being treated like an ornament. Pretty to look at, but fundamentally decorative. As I gathered my things to leave, Olivia hugged me tightly. He's going to fight back, you know. Men like Michael always do when their control is threatened. I'm counting on it, I replied, surprising myself with my calm certainty. But this time, I'll be fighting from a position of strength. At Valencia Bank, I opened a business account for Phoenix Capital, using my MBA diploma and business plan as supporting documentation. The banker, Gracie Thompson, reviewed my materials with growing interest. This is impressive, Mrs. Reynolds. Your focus on women-led businesses fills a significant market need. She typed efficiently. Will Mr. Reynolds be a co-signer? No. My voice was firm. This is my independent venture. Gracie didn't react, merely nodding as she continued processing the paperwork. And will you be making an initial deposit? Today? Yes, $200,000. I provided the transfer details, watching as her neutral expression slipped momentarily in surprise. That's substantial, she commented, quickly recovering. May I ask the source of these funds? Investment liquidation. Technically true, the Porsche had been an investment, according to Michael. As I left the bank, I felt a strange lightness. For years, I had accessed only household accounts Michael had set up for me, accounts he monitored, questioning every expenditure he deemed unnecessary. Now, I controlled significant capital that he knew nothing about. My phone rang as I got into my Audi. Michael. I let it go to voicemail. Hey, babe, wrapping up in Tokyo, bringing you something special to make up for missing our dinner. Love you. No mention of our anniversary. Just our dinner, as if it had been any ordinary evening. And a gift, another expensive trinket to join the collection of consolation prizes. Earrings for the vacation canceled due to an IPO. A bracelet for the Christmas spent on conference calls. A necklace for the birthday dinner interrupted by urgent emails. I deleted the message without saving it. Crystal was waiting at Eloise's, an upscale cafe frequented by the financial district elite. She studied me appreciatively as I slid into the booth across from her. You look different. Good different. Powerful. I feel different. I exhaled. I'm making some changes. Crystal raised an eyebrow. Do tell. I'm starting a business. Financial advisory for women entrepreneurs. The words felt exhilarating to say aloud. That's actually why I wanted to meet. I'd love your insights on the current funding landscape. Crystal's expression shifted to professional interest. Fascinating timing. That's exactly what I wanted to discuss with you. Meridian is launching a Women in Business initiative next quarter. We need advisors who understand both sides of the equation. Advisors like me,